Marble Zone, the second level of the very first Sonic the Hedgehog game and one that lives in pure infamy for its sudden change in gameplay. Just 10 minutes ago, you were soaring through the lush, beautiful skies of Green Hill, going through loops, tunnels, curves, depression, what the? You finish that first boss fight and think to yourself, damn, that was pretty fun. Let's see where they go from here. Oh yes, everyone's second least favorite level of the game, the brick-filled Scorching Marble Zone. A level filled with obstacles, dangerous hazards, and... okay. But if you ask me, I personally like Marble Zone? Call me crazy, but I actually see this zone as one of my favorites. But why is it my favorite? Well, that's a question I'll answer right here, right now. Today, let's talk about why I love Marble Zone with all my heart. Except when that happens, yeah, fuck you. I know what everyone is gonna say already. But Marble Zone is such a change of pace compared to Green Hill. And you're not wrong. Green Hill was fast. We're talking high speed, over-the-top motions, everything. Marble is the complete opposite. Instead of going at exhilarating speeds and letting the speed mend it, you will find yourself jumping from platform to platform, avoiding hazards and dodging obstacles. This is what we call platforming, which is indeed more difficult than running around at the speed of sound. Now keep in mind, this was Sonic's first ever game. He's new around here. He doesn't know what kind of game he wants to be yet, and we can totally see that in Sonic 1. Going fast, going slow. Going fast, going slow. Going fast, going slow, you get the picture. Green Hill, Spring Yard and Starlight are all highly praised for their speed and fluidity in the level design. Marble, Labyrinth and especially Scrap Brain are all notorious for being slow-paced studs with sections that can make you feel like you want to turn your console off. And when your mind is suddenly adjusting to something, it can get a little bit disorienting at times. I mean, how could it not when it immediately switches up on you on the second level, especially with how claustrophobic the zone can feel sometimes. I'm telling you, 3/4 of all 3 acts take place underground. You're met with swinging platforms, falling spike beds, bandits all around you, and the main gimmick, lava. Naturally, this can come off as a little too much for first-time players. Keyword first-time players. On your first time through, you're gonna have an unpleasant time. Duh. But when replaying the zone more and more, I find myself more accustomed to the way Marble Zone wants me to play. There are multiple areas in which first-time players will have difficulty getting through. But with enough practice and skill, it's really not that hard in hindsight. A lot of complaints I hear from people about Marble Zone is the waiting aspect. Pushing blocks, waiting for pillars to move, waiting for the blocks to carry you across the lava. It's annoying to have to wait for something to move just so you can carry on. But you gotta understand that patience really is a virtue sometimes. This section with the pillars seem boring to wait through, obviously, but then you see those rings waiting for you at the end. So naturally, you have a reason to move on to the next platform and through the area. And you can even skip certain sections in the most creative ways possible. While a lot of areas in Marble Zone have automated sections that require Sonic to hang around on, you can easily skip some of these in some fairly interesting methods. See this part with the block in Act 2? The intended way is for you to push the block and have it carry you across the lava while you jump over 2 blocks that are in your way. God, that's such a mouthful. Once you reach the end, you need to jump off a one-time lava geyser or else you miss your shot at getting to the top. But alternatively, you can skip that entire snooze fest by jumping from the block to the platform, to the other platform, and reaching the top. It's that simple, and is one of the reasons why I cherish Marble Zone so much. It makes you think about innovative ways to beat the stage faster without simply running fast. Marble is usually known to be a good skill check for Sonic fans thanks to the increase in hazards, but it's also a good skill check to see how well your exploration skills are. Every act has at least one hidden room that contains goodies unbeknownst to you, but you wouldn't know that if your focus is simply finishing the level on time. And it's not always an extra life or a few ring monitors for you to soak in. This area in Act 3 is probably the most infamous example of not knowing the level design well enough to know what you're missing out on. Normally, you would need to go down past these 2 crushes and make your way deeper and deeper through the level, only to climb back up again and reach this section. This takes about a minute to do, and you can easily skip that entire fiasco in just 10 seconds. There's a hidden room to the right of this crusher that I'm sure 90% of players don't even know about. As a reward for your curiosity, you're given a 1-up and a free pass to that same section I was talking about. Now, I'm not gonna deny that there are things about Marble Zone that can come off as ridiculous. The caterpillars that detach their bodies whenever you touch them have never been more infuriating to me, especially when the attack hitbox is so small. The amount of times I've tried to skip past sections and just end up taking damage are just so high, and feeling my hands sweat when I jump from one platform to another above a huge pit, knowing my fate if I fall, makes it a unique kind of tension that feels rewarding when you pull it off. Things can feel cold, calculated, and boiling hot if you misjudge edgeways. Miss one jump and you'll find yourself plummeting directly into 210 degrees. But I'll be honest here, if you're playing this game with a different mindset, of course things can come off as a little complicated at times. There's many things to like about Marble Zone, but in all honesty, it just boils down to your mindset when playing Sonic 1. If you're looking to beat the game as fast as you can, you're likely to rush things through, becoming vulnerable to touch damage. But playing the zone at your own pace is what it's all about. Maybe you can't keep up with how slow some sections are. Well then find a way to keep the pace. Nobody said you couldn't. It would be kind of impulsive for me to say that if you don't like Marble Zone then you're probably just playing it wrong, but that would be nonsensical since there's honestly no strict way of playing this zone. You can have fun if you actually put in some effort into making the most out of this stage. Hell, even if you're not the biggest fan of Marble Zone, you gotta admit the music is catchy, and the countless remixes done by many others are just ear candy. Look, I know you guys will still think I'm out of my mind, but when I tell you that I have an immense soft spot for Marble Zone, I mean it. Truth be told, when I was 11 years old and I played Sonic 1 for the very first time on my old iPhone 7, Marble Zone was the first level that I spent a lot of time in. And I won't lie, that was primarily due to the fact that I had trouble with the tight platforming, but it was also thanks to the aesthetic and vibe I got from exploring the underground ruins filled with lava and spikes. It was fun. I had fun in Marble Zone, something that the average fat chud of the Sonic fandom could never dream of having. And that's what makes Marble Zone such a wonderful zone to me. Not just for the nostalgia I get whenever I replay it, but for the thrill of managing speed and performing the tightest jumps and discovering the hidden secrets found within. Because at the end of the day, once you open that capsule, you're still being sent to another sensational level to look forward to. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know it's a short one, but I need something to post. Stay safe and take care, y'all. Also, did you know that an early version of Marble Zone was included in the movie Wayne's World of all places? I think that's pretty cool.